Okay, so how are you feeling at this part in the book?
So it feels very copy paste. And the story itself is not bad per se, but it feels so similar to the first round. And it seems just too long.
Yeah, I thought it felt very long. At the same time, I liked all the interactions that I read. Like, I was entertained each time, but I was like, oh, another time. We're doing the same thing again.
Yes. Yes. It's like I enjoy seeing Linus, Arthur, and the children. And I think if it wasn't like once again the inspector coming in and they're once again having to do the whole
Yeah,
song and dance. Like it feels like okay, we've been here, done that.
yeah. Yeah, it felt really repetitive. I already started looking up reviews from other people, and one of the things that some people said was like it felt like he had a message he wanted to send, but not a
Yeah.
story he wanted to tell.
Yeah.
And so when you start with the message first, then you kind of get to this like preachy, not really a story,
Yeah.
just all of his thoughts.
Like I feel like there was so much opportunity with the characters. Like we could have had the beginning part be there and then they go on a vacation and they go meet
Oh,
Theodore's long lost cousin or
whoa. Yeah, something totally different.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it does feel like repeat of the first book. And honestly, even repeat within the book. Something happens, the kids have this brilliant like, drop of
Yeah.
wisdom. They fix everything. That's the main thing where I'm like, everyone is just too perfect on the island.
Mm-hmm.
And then the government people are just too evil. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, this is getting like it felt a little boring.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
but I've also heard this classified as a cozy read where like things aren't really supposed to be bad.
Which I'm okay with things not being bad.
Hmm.
Them going on a vacation to find Theodore's cousin and they find like a button trove. Like that's a cozy read too.
Yeah.
Just I feel like TJ's a good storyteller. It just feels like too much of the same.
Hmm.
We could have gotten a new story. There's because like you said, there's really not like a story. It's literally just the inspector comes and the children are once again doing the dog and pony show.
Yeah. But now they've gotten better at it. They're older.
Yeah,
They're so cool. Yeah. So, all right, but you haven't finished it yet, right?
I haven't finished it.
Okay, so today we're going up through the end of chapter 11. Is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. To
All
the
right.
start of chapter 12.
Okay. Very good. So we'll see how you feel at the end of it.
Okay, once you got to the end, did it end justify? Chrissy says no.
No, I didn't think so. And then I read the acknowledgments, and I gotta say that just ruffled my feathers. I was like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
this,
because it was so upset at J.K.
yeah,
Rowling.
he's just so upset. Yeah. Also, not to spoil the reviews, but other people too were like, for a book that's about how much you shouldn't hate people, he seems to have a lot of hate for lots of people. And I was like, that's kind of how I felt. And it's like, you can believe whatever you want, sure, fine. But it just felt like only love the people who agree with you and who I agree with. And if you don't agree, hate. I was like, I don't love that message.
Well, okay, so just to push back and something we like, I don't think we said it explicitly last time, but it's like, can you, if someone wants you to not exist, can you make space for that person?
I don't think, I don't know if that's a good representation of the argument, though. They don't want you to exist? I don't think that's what J.K. Rowling doesn't want people to not exist. I think she disagrees with their choices. I
I get
think, you know,
I think that's how a lot of people in the community feel. Like we you want to do X, Y, and Z, and we don't want you to do that. We don't want you in the schools. We don't want you talked about. Like if you want to do something in the privacy of your own home, you can have the curtains closed up, but don't let us see that. But because we're quote unquote mainstream, we can be public and we can do these things, but not for you. Like
yeah.
why should we be okay with one person's choices to be out in the public, but not someone else's?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know. So it's kind of, I think I hear what you're saying, but it's like if someone doesn't want to make space for you, should you be inclined to make space for them? I guess.
Um,
Is that clear?
I
Does
mean,
that
it
make
sounds
sense or
like it
no?
might go better than just blocking them out. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's a really sticky subject. It's not clear cut. I can definitely understand why people are upset
Hmm.
on definitely people in the community, the LGBTQ community. I can definitely understand why they feel attacked, why they feel how they feel. Um, I can also understand reading this book that it's like, I don't know that this is like the panacea that TJ might think that it is, you know?
Yeah, because that's another thing too. It's like, okay, if you're reading this book and you already agree with TJ, it's like, what's with all the preaching? I already agree. And if
Hmm.
you're reading this book and you don't agree with TJ, this isn't going to convince you. Like, I don't
Right,
know. So I don't really
right.
know who it's for at the end of the day, actually.
Yeah, to me, I think it's for the LGBT community to just kind of be like a cozy read to make you feel better, to kind of like
Yeah,
make you feel validated. I don't think that you can give this book to some, if someone doesn't agree with TJ's views, I don't think they're going to read this and be convinced.
yeah. And like,
I think,
probably wasn't his purpose anyway. So,
yeah, I think his purpose, in quote, being the anti JK Rowling, is to try to create like a fantasy world for people that are in the LGBTQ community
yeah,
that can feel like the author doesn't hate them.
right. And that's great.
Yeah.
He creates a really cool, fun world.
Yeah. I I feel like the first book was much better than this though.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. I know. 'Cause like I'm not loving it either. I'm like it's hard for me to like pick it up.
Mm.
Like I read to page 275 in the last 30 minutes. I was at like 250.
Oh.
And I told you this
Yeah.
morning I was at 275 because I was like if I tell this lie, I can make it true.
You did it. You made it
I did it.
happen.
I made it true. But it's because it's like it's so hard for me to like pick it up and read it.
I actually like once I started reading it, I was like, I want to see what happens next. I enjoyed like I didn't have trouble picking it up to read because I
Hmm.
think I like the characters enough where I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't, yeah, yeah. We can talk about the end when we get there.
Yeah.
Our overall thoughts.
Well, before we do that, we did get another 5-star review on Apple Podcast.
Wow, a comment?
No, just a 5-star.
Oh, that might have been me actually. I hadn't
What?
reviewed yet.
What?
Yeah, because I didn't have Apple Podcasts. I finally re-downloaded it.
Oh, okay, good.
So that
Well,
might have been me.
good job, Chrissy.
Finally supporting the pod.
Finally, we did get a comment from F. Smith.
Oh, we did?
Yep, she is going to be leaving Spotify. She's gonna,
What?
but she's gonna start taking the lead for Apple Podcasts. She's gonna Balance the scales.
Wow. F. Smith, we love you.
We love you. She's really concerned about Book Olympics and if that's going to tank the UK.
Oh my gosh, I didn't see this comment.
It just came in.
Oh, I see it now.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And F. Smith, I got bad news for you. That's exactly what's going to happen. Australia's
UK's gonna
only
tank.
like, yeah, UK's going to tank. Australia, you're coming right behind. You're 2 percentage points behind. Once F. Smith is gone, the
There's your
gloves are off.
chance.
There's your chance.
No,
And then
F.
Canada,
Smith.
UK's going to tumble hard.
Oh
You
no.
heard it here first.
Oh, F. Smith, we can't let that happen to you.
I know. I know.
Well, she can't be the only one, right? She
No,
can't be
there's
carrying all of UK.
no, she's not carrying all of UK. There are other
Okay.
people.
All right.
Just get a friend on Spotify, F. Smith,
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
take your
here's your
spot.
chance to spread the news. Tell everyone you know who has
Yes.
Spotify, especially.
But I think if we see any gains in our Apple listenership, we're just going to call that F. Smith.
Yes. I think you're right. Yeah. Currently, Apple Podcast is 2.2% of our listenership.
Yep.
Next week, when it's 8%, we'll know.
Well, no, that'll be the
F.
F. Smith
Smith.
effect.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, one last Book Olympics before F. Smith leaves Spotify. We have, of course, United States. What do we call that trophy instead of gold? It's a diamond or something.
Diamond?
No, sea
Platinum?
glass.
Seagull.
Yes. The United States has a sea glass trophy.
Oh, God.
And UK coming in what is first outside of the US with the gold.
Yes. Yes.
UK. Then in gold, silver is Australia, bronze, Canada.
Yes.
That was for you, F. Smith.
That's for you.
I hope those stay the same.
Oh,
But never be too
interesting.
sure. What?
We have geographic location on all platforms and then just Spotify.
What?
This just in.
Oh. F. Smith, we won't lose you. Forget everything we just said. Everything we just said the last 5 minutes, fake. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a little button. It's so easy to press. So you can look at where your listeners come from just Spotify or from all the platforms.
Wow.
Wow. Game changer.
Okay. That must be new. I feel like it didn't used to be like that. It used to be only Spotify.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that is new.
I remember it being like that.
Yeah. I'll second that. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
new. Wow. Well, F. Smith, Spotify made a feature just for you.
Just for you.
Okay, well, great. So crisis averted.
Thank God. Thank
I
God.
know.
I did
I was
not
getting
want to
worried.
see. I didn't want to see the UK lose their gold medal.
I know.
I didn't want to see it.
F. Smith has been working hard
Yeah.
to keep it.
Okay. So are we gonna do this thing?
Let's do it.
All right.
Are you ready to do the intro? Do you want to do it?
No, I like it when you do it.
Okay. Well, welcome to Bookalicious, a podcast where two sisters chat about books we're reading. I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Candace.
And today we are on part 2 of Somewhere Beyond the Sea, chapters, is it 7 through 11?
7 through 11. Sent to heaven.
Wow. Look at us. Okie dokie. So we left off last time. They had just picked up David. David just decided to go with them back to Marsyas Island. All right. So in this section, they take the whole train ride back, Arthur, Linus, and David. They make it back to the island, and all the kids are there to greet them, and it's this big, warm welcome. And David is like kind of immediately taken into their fold, but he's still kind of nervous. Um, they learn that that Dykemy is going to come for another inspection, and they don't know who's going to come, but she's going to come in about 2 days or so. So they had that much time to be together before Scary Lady comes. What else happens here? I didn't write down a summary.
Oh,
I can pull up a summary.
yeah.
Okay, I found a summary.
Hmm.
Okay. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Okay. So, David and Arthur are having one-on-ones, and during that one-on-one, David says that he wants to be a monster because he likes scaring people because it can bring them joy, and so they'll know that being scared isn't too bad. Like it's not so bad. And Arthur was at first he's like, "Yeah, you can't be a monster," but then he was like, "You know what? Sure. Okay.
Hmm.
I could go with your definition of monster." Okay. Well, but then Lucy hears about this and he feels hurt because he feels that Arthur has been hypocritical because Arthur has told David that he can be a monster and scare people while repeatedly emphasizing to Lucy that he cannot. Oh, shoot. Sorry, this summary is way too long. Um, let's see. Did you get to the part where they go to the town, to the mainland? They
Yeah.
go to the record store and stuff?
And the end of chapter 11 is they've returned home.
Okay. Okay, then actually, let me read this paragraph and let's see if this hits all the big things. Okay, so here's a summary I found online thanks to supersummary.com.
Okay.
Okay, so Arthur and Linus return to Marsyas Island with David. The children are delighted to meet their new brother, and David begins to adjust to the idea that he has found a loving home where he can truly be himself. Because David is an unregistered magical being, Arthur and Linus plan to hide him from the government inspector. But by the time the inspector, Harriet Marblemaw, arrives, the children have bonded with David and they insist that if David is hidden away, they will hide too. Linus and Arthur respect the children's claims that magical beings should not be taught to hide in the shadows and agree to a plan for David to pretend to be an adult friend of Arthur's. Marblemaw, a sharp eyed, narrow minded bully, does not believe David's ruse, but has no clear way to prove that he is actually a child. As she begins her proposed 2 week stay on the island, she is overtly rude and threatens over and over to remove the children from Arthur and Linus's care. Although the children are on their best behavior and they're deliberately working to present their home in the best possible light, Marble Maw remains disdainful, constantly criticizing the children, their home, and their caregivers. On a trip into the nearby mainland village, Marble Maw grabs David roughly and uses denigrating language toward him, leaving him badly frightened. The children rise to David's defense, threatening Marble Maw in return. What do you think? Did that get a lot of the main highlights?
Yes. Yes. I
Did you
think so.
hear about Marble Maw's call with Router?
No.
Okay, well then, I think that's all we got.
Okay. Cool. Hmm. So there's this thing that's been excluded. It was excluded from our first book recap and also excluded from the summary is Chauncey's metamorphosis into puberty,
Oh my gosh.
which I find equal parts funny and also disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know if I loved that part. And it kept coming up.
His inking, I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, I didn't love that. So Lucy starts calling it his nocturnal emissions when Chauncey just releases ink without
And it gets
meaning to.
everywhere. It's all over his room, dripping down the walls. And I'm like, this
Uh,
is disgusting,
what?
actually.
I know. There were a few jokes in here where I'm like, this one didn't really land.
Well, okay, there was this one part. I don't know if it was this section or last time, but Chauncey gets to decide where everyone goes for their adventure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so he says he's going to be like this Real Housewives of
Oh
somewhere.
my gosh. I love that.
I love this whole story. He gets to be Real Housewife of somewhere, and the other children have to fan him and feed him grapes. It's this part, yeah, because David gets to
Be the
be like
captain.
the captain, which I
Hmm.
thought was really nice.
Yeah, I did like that interaction. I was like, Chauncey, great idea. Make everyone else
Yeah,
like your your servants for the day.
yes. And then it ends with us finding out that not only can Chauncey ink, but he can also speak to fish.
Okay, why not?
Sure. And so then he's like, everyone wants to get his friend, who was it?
Frank, the fish.
Frank. Yeah. And he's like, everyone shout Frank's name, shout Frank's name. So everyone's
Ah,
shouting Frank's name. And then Frank shows up. And everyone's like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then before you know it, Chauncey ate him.
yes. What?
I
But
almost
then didn't
screamed
Frank go
laughing.
out? Frank like jumped out of him, right?
No, Chauncey gobbled him up, sashimi
But you
style.
could still see him. Wasn't he
Yeah,
floating
because
around in Chauncey's stomach, like swimming around?
I thought he was getting digested.
Oh, I thought Frank made it out alive.
Uh,
That's what I thought it was, but I don't really remember, honestly. Oh, that's so funny. But no, I do really like all the kids' interactions. The adventure was great. I love that. Okay, on the note of nocturnal emissions, though, there's this one line where I'm like, did we need that detail? Where they're all going on the boat and they're all putting on their wetsuits. And then it says, Arthur's wetsuit was fitting and left little to the imagination. I was like, what? Why are we describing this?
Oh my gosh. I thought that was kind of funny. To me, that part with oh, that's with Arthur, not with Linus. Because I was gonna say one thing that is not in this book that was all over the previous book
Hmm.
was comments on how very fat Linus is.
There's a few, but yeah, not as many, I guess.
There's a few, but I feel like to me, part of it was the last book was about accepting yourself as you are.
Hmm.
And so it was Talia or Fee or one of them was like, Linus, you're round like I am, just making it a statement and not a judgment.
Oh, yeah.
And then by the end of the book, Linus is kind of like, I'm just round. That's it. Like neither good nor
Yeah.
bad. And that was part of his like character arc.
Yeah.
So you see in this book, it seems like he's grown even more, where it's like he's wearing like a wetsuit and he's doing this and that. And then
Oh,
there's like
yeah.
not any commentary on it because it just is.
Hmm.
I thought that was
Yeah.
really nice.
Hmm. Do you think anything of their comments on Arthur's knobbiness? Because that comes up.
Knobbiness?
Yeah, they describe him as all like knuckles and all knobs
Oh,
or whatever. That's how he's described. Are they just painting a picture, or is he also learning to accept himself as he is?
I always take that as because TJ's trying to drive home the point that even though he is human, he's also bird-like.
Oh, I didn't even think about that as bird-like. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like kind of like long, thin limbs, like long, thin legs, and he's always cocking his head and kind of like knobby
Mm.
knees, like a stork or something like that.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
That's how I
I
took.
like that.
That's how I was understanding that.
Nice. Nice. Before the boat thing, but I think it's still, let's see here. I think it was in chapter 7. So it was like in the beginning. Yeah, it was chapter 7. So when David first meets all the kids, he's like kind of nervous, but then they all like talk and it's fine. And I'm only bringing this up because it comes up again later. But at this point, I was already kind of like, okay, hear the preaching,
Yeah.
all the same stuff, whatever, whatever. Okay, in this book, which was not in the last book, Lucy's got a lot to say about Jesus. And I'm like, I don't think I like this. I feel offended. So I don't know why this wasn't edited out, but which
Uh-oh.
like I get that like he's the antichrist. And so like some of it's funny, but I'm like This wasn't in the first book and it didn't need to be in this book.
What was
So,
it?
okay, so
Let
this
it rip.
first line that comes up, which like when you're reading it independently, I'm like I get the humor. I'll just read it. Okay. So David is meeting everybody, and then David blurted out, "Are you really going to fight Jesus in hand-to-hand combat in the final battle for all our souls? Or is that just something someone made up?" And then everyone like pauses, they're like, "What?" And then Lucy says, "Yeah, probably. I know karate, so it won't be a fair fight. What's he gonna do? Make more fish and bread? Oh, Jesus, no, anything but that. Are you turning water into wine? Curse you, street magician." And I get the humor, but what I didn't like was that all the adults started laughing. I was like, you shouldn't laugh at that. That's my thought. Because also I'm like, if this I just feel like if it were another religion, no one would be comfortable reading that. That's my
Okay.
hot take.
Okay. Okay. There's definitely something of punching up versus punching down.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're like the predominant thing, whatever that is, people can take shots at you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can take shots at them and it's 1-to-1. So I think
Mm,
that might be what's kind of happening there.
maybe.
But
I don't know.
but if you could imagine if you're the son of the Antichrist and he's 7 years old, isn't that exactly what he would say? Would he
I
be
do
like,
think it's funny. Yeah, like I do get that. I get that. I don't like that the adults don't really reprimand him in any way.
Yeah,
Also, I don't feel like it's necessary. That's what I'm saying. Also, punching up, punching down, sure, I get that. But what about like equal respect for all religions? Because I feel like it's not respectful.
I agree.
And that's
It's
what I think.
yeah, it's not respectful, that's for sure. The question I had, because I underlined that area too, but I said, can you be the Antichrist if you don't fight Christ? Like, you know what I'm saying?
um,
Like, and I
uh,
think that was
uh,
always kind of like a flaw with Lucy as a character. It's because they call him the Antichrist, and it's like, is he actually that, or is that a label people have given him? And he's actually not that at
oh.
all.
Interesting. Because you're saying, like, if he is actually that, then he has no choice but to fight Christ.
Yes. Yes.
Mm. I feel like the impression is that he actually is.
Well, I still wonder, I don't know, like I kind of wonder like how literal it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I didn't even
Because
think about that.
yeah, because it's like if we're thinking about the book, it's like all these people are getting labels as to like what they are, who they should be, or da 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 da. And I think with Lucy, he's always the most misunderstood because he has this label of being the Antichrist. So people think he's going to end the world. And then Arthur's the only one in his corner being like, no, like that's not true.
Right. You have a choice in
You have a
this.
choice. Like he's not like destined to become a monster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But if he actually has a choice, would the Antichrist actually have a choice? That's what you're
Yeah, I'm just saying,
asking
like,
me.
if, like, like, for example, if you're a lion, do you have a choice about eating the antelope if that's the only thing available? Like,
Mm. But a lion
no.
wouldn't have, but I guess Lucy has some level of like morality and like consciousness that a lion wouldn't have.
I guess maybe what I mean is if you're a lion and you're a carnivore and all you can do is eat meat, can
Hmm.
you choose to be a vegetarian?
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
you have to eat meat. You have to kill something in order to survive. And if you
Hmm.
don't do it, then you die. That to me would be like the Antichrist, where it's like you have to do this, otherwise you don't exist.
Hmm. Well, that gets everything really tricky with all of Arthur's advice about being whatever he wants he could be, whatever he wants to be.
That's why I don't think when they say Antichrist, I think that's a label people have given to him.
Okay. So maybe he is like a son of a demon or something.
Yes.
Something in that vein, but not necessarily
Yes,
the
the
Antichrist.
Antichrist. Because
Okay.
also in the first book, this doesn't happen here, but in the first book, I'm pretty sure they would all get really mad if you called Lucy the
Yeah.
Antichrist.
Yeah. And they still, I think Arthur's still like, I don't love that term, but like if you want to use it, you can.
Yeah.
I think that's
So,
kind of his thing.
right. Again, I feel like it's maybe like a label others have given him.
Oh,
So
okay.
when he's making these jokes, they it's very clear TJ's perspective on religion and Christianity. That is abundantly clear.
I
That's
think so.
abundantly clear. I could see realistically though, if you're like this demon who everyone's been calling you the Antichrist all
Uh-huh.
this time, I could see you responding in this way,
Right. I actually
making a
think
joke
Lucy's
of
a
it.
really great character. And I do
Yeah.
think he's really funny. But I
Hmm.
do just feel like this wasn't in the first book, and I don't think it was necessary in this book. That's my
No,
thought.
I don't think so. I think that was kind of like a dig. It was a dig.
I kind of think so. So I just want to mention it because it's going to keep coming up, and I'm going to keep bringing it up.
Okay, there's also a lot of uh male appendage jokes.
Yes, I was like, what happened? We went to middle.
There's a lot.
Everyone matured to middle school.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess maybe that's part of the character growth.
Yeah, yeah.
But
All
on
right.
page 142, so the page right before the Jesus comment, they're
Okay,
talking about these bananas
lovely.
as in not so many ways like, okay. So Lucy makes these bananas appear out of magic. And David the Yeti says, "You have magic banana powers?" "Yes," Sal said, a lot, eyes alight with mirth. "That's exactly right. Lucy has magic banana powers." "He's a magic banana boy," Fee agrees. "Can't really do much aside from making sure we have our daily intake of fiber, which helps us poop," Chauncey adds. And I wrote, "long, curvy
Oh my gosh.
banana."
I was just thinking that. I mean, TJ nailed the humor for this age group.
You want to tell everyone about the long, curvy banana?
Gosh. It was a long curvy stick.
Oh, a curvy.
Oh. Yes. So over New Year's, we're with all of our nieces and nephews, as we've detailed in, I think, Akatar Part One, if you want
Mhm.
to hear about an alligator. And during that time, we played Quiplash, which is an online game where you submit your answers and people vote on which one is the best one. And we played it with all of our nieces and nephews. And one question was describe or use an what's another word for banana or something like that.
Yeah.
And both of the answers, one was long curvy stick, and the other one was long yellow curvy stick or something. Oh my gosh. And everyone just thought it was so hilarious. And then that became the joke for the rest of the game. No matter what the
Oh my
question was,
gosh.
the answer was long curvy stick.
Long curvy stick. And so our nieces and nephews who are playing were age like 9 to 14. So you can
Mhm.
imagine the peals of laughter at anything and everything being described as a long curvy stick.
Oh my gosh.
So I saw that and I was like, okay, all right, TJ, you got it.
TJ knows, he really did capture the youthful spirit here. He knows their humor.
Yeah. There was this nice passage on 148, and underlined it as my favorite passage.
Hmm.
Um, Trust, and this is in relation to David the Yeti. Trust, Arthur knew, was a treasure effortlessly stolen, often without rhyme or reason. And this particular treasure was a fragile thing, a piece of thin glass easily broken.
Hmm.
I thought
That's good.
that was a nice line.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really do. I think the meeting David, that was one of my favorite things too, because everyone is just like so welcoming and so happy, and you're like, oh my gosh, like that is exactly what you want for
Mm-hmm.
someone, you know? Like, because
Yeah.
everyone knows what it's like to be the new person, and like that is the reception you're hoping for.
Yeah. And it's like all the kids, they're just so excited. They're like, oh my gosh, we have a new friend. And like they made a new room for him and they all worked on
Yeah.
it. And like they just want him to have such a great time. And they're so excited for their family to get bigger. It was just,
Mm-hmm.
it was really nice.
Yeah, it was super sweet.
Hmm.
Yeah. Do you think the kids being so perfect took away from the book for you? Or were you like, this is cozy? I like how perfect they all are. Or did you feel like they were the right level of,
I, I
dynamic?
I think they're the right level, and especially because David and Lucy end up having like an altercation.
Yeah.
So I think Chrissy talked about it in her summary with David saying, I want to be a monster.
Mm-hmm.
And Arthur saying, that's great. And then Lucy a couple years ago being like, well, I am a monster. And he was applying monster as like, this is who I am. I'm this horrible thing, so I'm going to be this horrible thing. And so I think
Right.
Arthur was trying to like redirect that narrative and say, no, you aren't a monster. You can be something else. And so now he's given two pieces of advice to two different people that's conflicting.
Yeah.
And so then Lucy and David, Lucy gets mad because he's like, why would you tell him one thing and me something else?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did you
There.
think about that? So like as a parent, having two children with very different needs,
Mm.
sometimes
I
in
actually,
conflict.
yeah. I don't really see them in conflict though, because I really liked how Arthur handled it because he was like, what do you mean by monster? And he was like, someone who scares people to bring them joy. And Arthur's like,
Hmm.
oh, you can do that, I guess.
Yeah.
That we can work around that. And so I felt like, because I think the advice of like, be whoever you want to be no matter what, it's like that maybe isn't always the best advice. Because like, what if you want to be a murderer? It's like, well, don't do that. But I liked Arthur like helping guide David to like a good, understanding of what would it mean to be a monster that like helps people. How could you do
Hmm.
that? And I think he's doing the same thing with Lucy too, where he's like, do
Yes.
you want to be someone who hurts people? Is that something, you enjoy and you think is a good thing? And we learn later in this book as it comes up again, Lucy's like, actually, I really like it when I help people. Like that makes me feel better. And
Hmm.
so his definition also kind of changes.
Well, and Arthur adds a caveat with be who you want to be as long as you're not harming anyone
Oh,
else.
that's right. Yeah, yeah,
So that's like the caveat because you're right. It's like, well, maybe who I want to be is Killy Millie. And that's
yeah.
someone we can't make space for. Except for us, because we love her.
Always killing Millie. Yeah, yeah. So I thought that was a good moment.
Hmm. Okay. So here's finally the thing with Frank. It's on 175.
Okay.
Okay. So Chauncey goes into this whole thing where he's like, no one can eat fish anymore because I love Frank
Oh.
and he's my BFF and I can talk to Frank and, that means that they have feelings, da 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 da. And people are like, well, what about this? What about that? And they're going back and forth, back and forth. And then all of a sudden, Sal says, Chauncey, did you eat Frank? And
Ah.
then Chauncey says, what? Of course not. That goes against everything I stand for. I would never. Fee, we can see him in your stomach. Sure enough, through Chauncey's translucent green skin, Frank swam in slow circles, little bubbles trailing from his nose. Oh, that? Chauncey said. I could explain. You see, Frank said he's very interested in stomach acid and wanted to see it for himself. He is getting digested.
Oh my gosh. Oh, but I really
You
thought
can't
that he
swim.
jumped out.
You can't swim in stomach acid and recover.
Frank
Sorry.
can. Frank can talk to people.
We never find out.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, you're right. I don't know if I do
Oh,
see that anywhere. Oh, does he?
Chauncey
Oh,
yarked over the side of the boat, Frank splashing back into the water.
yes. There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
So Frank
I
is still alive. He survived the
he's
stomach acid.
telling all his friends, don't talk to that weird tentacle boy.
He's gonna eat you up.
He said that we were going to be friends, and then he tried to eat me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, then all the kids work together. The sail stops working on their boats. They need to figure out a way to get back. And so all the kids work together to make like this tsunami to get them back to shore.
I thought that was funny.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like them working together. I thought that was fun. Okay, there's
Yeah.
something at I think towards the end of this. I honestly, I kind of forget what's happening around here, but I just wrote down this line. I love Linus's what's. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's something he started in this book where something will happen and then all it says is what, comma, not even a period, not an exclamation point, just a what.
Can you
So
give me
in
an
this
example?
one, yeah, so on page 200, people are like giving gifts. Oh, I think they're giving things that they don't want the inspector to see. And
Oh,
so
yes.
Fee gives this impressive dagger with a jeweled hilt that glittered in the light. Where did you get that? Arthur asked. Won it playing cards, Fee said. What? Linus said. And then they just move on. And there's just multiple times where he's just like, what? I thought it was
Line
so funny.
Linus is the only one tethered to reality in
I
this,
know.
and every day it's slipping a little bit away.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, also, did you notice on the same page they mention sea glass? Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Chauncey brought things, and most of which were sharp seashells or sea glass he found buried in the sand.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if
You're
he knows what
like,
it's made of.
yeah, you're just like Chauncey.
I'm just like Chauncey. I would love to be just like Chauncey.
Well, I don't know, because we find out that he eats pine cones.
That was
The,
another weird thing where I was like,
that we're learning
what's
a
trying to
lot
go on
about
here?
things coming outside of Chauncey.
Chauncey gets a big spotlight in this book.
So he eats these pine cones and they turn into razor blades into his digestive tract. And
I
you're
would
like,
imagine so.
whoa.
And he's like, they kind of tickle coming out. He's like,
Yeah.
what? Like, what's happening?
Did I ever tell you do you remember when mom put me on the South Beach diet?
Is this the almonds?
Yes.
Okay, wait. Yeah, what happened?
Well, like, okay, so the South Beach diet is like you don't eat carbs, you can only eat like proteins
Mm-hmm.
and fats. So you eat like a lot of cheese and you eat a lot of nuts. And so what I was eating was all of these like cheese sticks and then all of these almonds because
Oh
they were
my
like
gosh.
they
The
were
cocoa
almonds and
powdered
like
or whatever.
cocoa powder. Yeah. So
Those
they
are
were
good.
kind of like a dessert. Yeah, they're good. So I'm eating it. And then what ends up happening is that the cheese, I get so constipated. I've eaten so much cheese, but I've
No.
only eaten cheese and almonds, which turn into razor blades. And it was
Oh
horrific. I
no.
could not eat almonds for years.
Oh my gosh. That does sound
I
traumatizing.
I was like, "Oh my God, what's happening to me?"
I would hate that. I would be scared to go to the bathroom.
It was terrible. But yeah, so Chauncey eating those pine cones, I was like, "I see you, boo."
Yeah, I know what's coming for you.
It's not good. At least he's a blob.
That's true. There's probably
Yeah.
got to be easy ways to maybe you can just reach in there and take it
Yeah.
out.
I don't know. Okay,
Uh,
did you feel attacked on page 215?
um, is it about Florida? Because I highlighted that line. Yes, I did. I wrote LOL Florida. Lucy really coming for me.
Yeah. I said, "Where's the lie?"
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, so Lucy's like trying to think of ways that you can get rid of the inspector. when she comes. And he says, I'll open up a dimensional doorway in the fabric of reality and send her to a place where even demons fear to tread. What is this evil place, you might be asking? Great question. He spread his hands wide in a practiced display of showmanship. It's called Florida.
I thought that was hilarious. Oh my gosh. I know. I did. I felt like Lucy was coming right after me.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I was confused. So the inspector's coming, and Linus and Arthur are like, okay, David is not documented. He can't be here. We're gonna get in trouble. And so then they're
Hmm.
gonna hide him. And then they decide to hide him in his room for 2 weeks. And I was like, in the same room where Arthur was imprisoned for years. So, okay, kind of weird. I was like, why not even just put him with Helen? Why can't he just have a week on the mainland?
Or with Zoe.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they had talked about it. I don't know. I was like, maybe you guys aren't fit to be parents because you're making some weird choices here.
Okay, first they let David dress in a trench coat to be an adult, and I was like,
Walking
you
on
didn't think
ice
of a plan.
blocks.
Well, I know, trying to blend in as a like human, and they, I imagine, should have thought about a plan to get him hidden, or like to get him incognito going on the train. But okay, they didn't think about that, so a little bit of a red flag. And now the inspector's coming, and they didn't think about that either. Didn't they know this was happening? They didn't have a
Y-
better plan. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. They're not doing a good job. Let's just chalk it up to they're under a lot of stress because they are two men with like seven children between the two of them. And
I mean,
honestly,
that is a lot.
and they're all different children with special powers. I wouldn't have a plan either.
Yeah, that's true. Like, you're lucky I got up today.
Yeah, you're lucky you even have a room.
Yeah. Parent of the year.
But it's weird because they did talk about the thing with Zoe. It feels more of a plot point than anything, is that
Yeah.
he should have been with Zoe, but then we just met David and then we would be banishing him for the rest of the book.
I know. And I mean, the whole point is like, you shouldn't have to hide yourself.
You shouldn't have to hide yourself.
And so
Yeah.
that's the
And that
takeaway. And it's
was,
like, okay, sure.
yeah. But I agree. That was not their best parenting.
Yes. Okay. I also though had a question on the same point where so the kids come up with the idea for David to pretend to be the long lost adult friend of Arthur. Like, look, your buddy from college. He showed up here. Don't you remember? Okay. And they don't tell Arthur and Linus's plan until the inspector is on the island. And they get word from Zoe. She's like, the inspector's here. We're gonna take her on a big detour, but she's coming soon. And then the kids are like, by the way, we have this plan. I'm like, you guys have been hanging out for the past few hours. Like, I was like, why didn't you tell them? But whatever.
I
They're kids.
I feel like I feel like that is a terrible plan, but that to me rings true as something these kids would do because I feel like they're
That's
always
true.
going up to like hijinks to like I don't know, they're trying to like break Arthur's will. They're trying they're trying to see how far they can go, how many crazy things they can do. It feels like to me this is like an adventure for them.
Yeah.
Like can how far can we go with this inspector towing the line? Saying that this young 9-year-old boy is actually 47 and he lived in a cage for so long and that's why he's tiny like
Yes, he got stuck between a rock and a cliff.
oh
He
yeah.
couldn't move for years. You're like, what?
So I haven't finished the book. I've read till 275, but I think Miss Marblemaw is a phoenix.
Ooh, I had a similar thought. I also thought at this point that she was something magical. What's making you think that?
So on 219 it says Miss Marblemaw cocked her head, not unlike a bird as she
Mm.
shoved the document. And they always use with Mr. Parnassus or Arthur that he cocks his head, which is
Mm.
bird-like to me.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good observations over there.
They describe Miss Marblemaw. They also describe her, I guess, kind of bird-like if you think about it, but she's kind of like Skeletor with like harsh red lipstick, very thin and gaunt.
Yeah, I think it could be kind of like a bird. I gotta say, I love her name. I thought that was a great villain name because isn't Maw like your jaw, like your mouth? So she's like a hard mouth,
Yeah,
marble maw,
Marblemaw.
and it just sounds like a bird, right?
Yeah,
Maw,
yeah, like a
yeah,
macaw.
macaw. All the signs are
Marblemaw,
there.
Marblemaw.
It does sound like it should be that. Oh my gosh.
We see
That's so
very
funny.
quickly that Miss Marblemaw has no good intentions for these children.
Yeah, yeah, she's there on strict government business. One of those government workers.
She says,
You know the
"We have your
kind.
yes." 229. She says, "We have your best interests in mind and want nothing more than for you to succeed and lead semi-normal lives." Fee said, "Well, when you put it that way, I guess that sounds great."
Yeah, I thought she was funny.
When Chauncey introduces himself to Marblemaw, I died.
What
She
is?
says,
Oh, does he want to take his her bags or something?
no, she's like, "Who is this thing?" And he says, "I'm Chauncey," the boy blob said, oozing forward. 10 years young. I seem to be a mixture of octopus, sea cucumber, and probably a bunch of other miracles. But there's something.
I love that.
I was just like, oh my God, Chauncey, like you won me over.
I know.
Miss Marblemaw, Lucy has a scorpion, and Miss Marblemaw sees it. And he's like, oh, that's my scorpion. And then she crushes it in her hand.
Yes.
And Lucy says, that was my scorpion. He says, outraged. It was your scorpion. Now it's nothing. And then I was like, I love her too. What a monster.
She really is. How do you like her as a villain?
I think she's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think she's just so like heinous,
I
so ghoul.
know.
You're just like, oh my God, monster.
Oh my gosh. I know. I felt like we can get there later, but they start playing all these pranks on her, and it felt a little bit like Home Alone,
Yes.
where it's like when I felt like, when you watch Home Alone as a kid, you're like, ha ha ha, how hilarious. But now when I watch it, I'm like, he's like brutally murdering those two thieves. It's like dropping bowling balls on their heads, like making them slip on ice. I kind of felt that a little bit with Marble Mob by the end, where I was like, oh my gosh.
I Andrew and I watched this horror movie and it's basically Home Alone if it was like real deal,
Oh no.
where it's the Home Alone Christmas movie theme, but it's horror and you can imagine the rest.
Oh gosh.
It was so funny though, because it's like when the bowling ball lands on someone's head, it's like they don't just like fall to the ground and like get back up.
They like actually die a horrendous death.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Ah. Oh no. Uh,
Okay, so when Theodore like sees Miss Marblemaw, he like runs over to her and he like throws up in her hair or something.
oh. What does he do? I forget. That's okay if you don't
Says,
remember.
oh no, it was Calliope. Okay. The hairball that
Oh.
Calliope expelled on top of Miss Marblemaw's shoe was extraordinarily impressive in scope. And I have a YouTube clip
You
for
do?
us to watch. Yes. So this is a cat and it's meeting its owner's baby for the first time. The baby's born. They've just come back from the hospital, and the cat is meeting the baby. Okay. So the cat is smelling the baby. The cat looks disgusted. He starts throwing up.
He's heaving.
Yes, dry
And he just
heaving.
prances away.
So that's not even the best one. The one that I saw the first time, I'll have to find it and put it in the show links. But the cat smells the baby. He looks disgusted and then he immediately walks away. And they're like, "What are you doing?" And then he doesn't even throw up a hairball. He just dry heaves until he just has like bile. He was like, "There is nothing even in my stomach to throw up, but I just wanted to let you know this is how I feel."
I needed to get the message across.
Yeah, I just want to let you know this baby not gonna work.
Oh my gosh. Any other notes on Marble Maw and all the antics?
One of the things that Marble Moss says where I'm like, I don't really, I'm kind of conflicted about it. And so this is about Lucy. And so she's talking about Lucy to Arthur. And she says, what if Lucy decides on his own he doesn't like the world as it is? What if he decides to remake it as he sees fit? And then Arthur says, he's 7 years old. He's just a kid. Miss Marblemaw. So was Nero at one point, Genghis Khan, Ivan the Terrible. Well, I'm not suggesting he'll do what they did. How can we know for sure? And I said, I'm kind of conflicted. And I've mentioned
Because
this
you,
before.
hmm
Because, like, if you're destined to destroy the world, like, can you parent that out of someone?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the book makes it super clear
Right? Like,
because, yeah.
if you could go back in time and you think of the worst people on the earth, if you go back in time and when they're a kid before they've done anything, would it make sense to knock them out before they could do something evil?
Mm. Um, I mean, I don't know. I guess Arthur's point though is like he is like, well, if you raise them differently, it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Because like because I think what's different between people and like antichrists is that each person their role isn't defined. But like how we understand the antichrist, like the role is defined. So
Right.
like that is a difference with Lucy.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe the role isn't defined. Maybe they can all sing Kumbaya at the end.
Yeah.
Who
Who
knows?
knows? But that did, I feel like that to me is like something that is like
Like a
confusing about the
valid.
book. Yeah, where it's kind of
Mm,
like, well, I mean, if you do have these people who have these powers that can destroy, they're basically, if they choose to, they can cause like great destruction. Is it reasonable to just let them gonna go around and do whatever they want and hope that they choose not to do harm with their gifts?
yeah. I mean, I feel like maybe the best option is just, you know, help teaching them and training them as much as you can to make the right choices. Because otherwise, then you get in a sticky position where you're like, well, what if I think a lot of people are dangerous? Can I lock all
Hmm.
of them up?
Right.
And then it's like, well, who gets to decide that?
That the slippery slope, I know it's a logical fallacy, but sometimes I think it's not because
That
because
kind
it's
of seems
like,
real.
yeah, like, well, it's always like wherever you draw the line, there's always going to be people right on the edge.
hmm
And then you're like, well, what about that person? And then you draw the line back a little bit more, and now there's someone else on the edge.
Like, dang
Yeah,
it.
and then you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. It never is just like one and done. So I agree. I think that's the danger with trying to arbitrate what is acceptable and what's not acceptable about people.
Yeah. But you're right. It does seem different being the Antichrist.
Right.
So, and yeah, does he actually have a choice? It seems like he does, apparently.
Right.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we can go with that.
Okay. So now we're on the island. They take
Hmm.
Miss Marble Maw. Everyone splits up into their own adventures for the day. Marble Maw goes with Arthur, Linus, David, and Lucy.
Hmm.
Miss Marble Maw is wearing all black and feathers. So if she wasn't a bird before,
Sounds like a bird.
she's sounding very birdish.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Hmm. And then it's weird because David scares J-Bone in the
Record
disco
store.
shop. Yeah. But it turns out that J-Bone wanted that to happen, which it's like, okay,
Yes.
that's
It,
strange, but
it was J-Bone's lifelong dream to be chased by a Yeti.
okay. All right. And then
Live your dreams, J-Bone.
Miss Marple Moss sees it and then she like grabs David very aggressively and she's like basically trying to punish him.
Yeah.
And she says this thing is an animal. Animals have instincts. You run, their prey drive kicks in, and then da 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 da. But I was thinking about it and I was like, she's treating David like an animal. But with an animal, you wouldn't, in my opinion, you don't punish the animal for reacting on its instincts. You punish the person for putting them in that environment.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, it depends on how trainable the animal is. I mean, I think it's both. But like a dog, you can train a lot out of a dog, you
Yeah.
know? But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. The dog doesn't have only has so much control over what it chooses to do.
Right.
So
So I guess what I'm trying to say is like she's applying these like he's an animal, but then also saying, well, you have more responsibility on your actions than the people who put you in this environment.
mm, is she saying he has more responsibility? I thought it was more so like you just don't know what he's gonna do. Like you need to keep close tabs on him, keep him locked up kind of thing.
Well, I feel like she is implying that he has more responsibility because she's not mad at anyone else. Like like
Mm,
to me, if you really think he is like an animal and he's just going on instinct, you should have been like, "What are you guys doing? Why are you riling him up? Like da 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 da. Like why are we out here?" Like it seems like to me that's like the person that you should be upset with. You should be upset with like the people who are supposed to be quote unquote responsible for said animal.
maybe.
You don't think
I
so?
I mean, I see in this situation, I think this is exactly how it would play out
Yeah.
because what she sees is J-Bone screaming frantically and running like a maniac and then David chasing him. So you
Yeah.
don't really know who instigated it. So you could think
Yeah.
David maybe instigated. You don't know. And then also she's already primed to think that David is, a monster and an animal. So,
Yeah.
because sometimes, like going back, if you're actually talking about dogs, it's like sometimes they do just act out. And like you have a dog that's been totally calm, but then all of a sudden they like something switches and they attack someone. And you're like, what? Where did that come from?
Yes, but I mean, okay. So this is my take on it. Is that animals respond to stimuli. Typically, they're not just going to snap because of nothing.
Yeah.
Something typically happened. If I think like a common example, tigers. People treat tigers as pets, and then the tiger
Mm-hmm.
eats them one day. And maybe this is countering my original argument because then they say, well, now the tiger has to die. But it's like, it's not the
Mm-hmm.
tiger's fault. You put it in the environment. It should be the person's fault who got eaten. Like,
They're dead.
Well, yeah, so I guess they're already dead. But you know what I'm saying? It just, to me, it seems like she's putting like the responsibility on David for following his quote instinct, even though she feels like he doesn't have control over it. It's like really who you
Mm,
should be mad at, if that's how you believe, who you should be mad at are the people putting him in the environment.
mm. Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, I kind of see that. I just see her as like so you're saying if like someone reasonable was in this situation, they wouldn't have responded like she is.
Yes. Like I
If they
think
really thought he was an animal.
if you were like trying to if you're trying to assign like quote unquote blame or like responsibility of the situation, if you believe that David is such that of an animal where he can only respond to instinct and stimuli, then you can't fault him for responding to stimuli and instinct.
Oh, okay.
Like he's just
Yeah,
doing what he is,
primed to
designed to
do.
do. So
Yeah.
it seems like she should be mad at J-Bone, but she's mad at David because I think she feels like in her heart that he does have control and like ability to not do
Yeah.
these things. So to me, it kind of feels like she's assigning both like you're just an
Oh,
animal, you're
okay.
responding to your
Oh, I
instinct, but
see.
this situation is also your fault.
Oh, I see. I see. So she's like contradicting herself.
Yeah.
Hmm, okay. Well, okay, so I'm rereading the line, and she kind of does blame J-Bone too, because J-Bone says, "Hey, get your hands off him," and then he says, "We were just playing around." She says, "It does not matter." She said, "This thing is an animal. Animals have instincts. You run, so like J-Bone ran, and then their prey drive kicks in, and blah blah blah." And so
Mm.
I think she kind of is blaming J-Bone a little bit. She's like, "It doesn't matter if you were playing. You started running, and then his instincts kicked in." And so she's holding
Mm.
him because she believes he is an animal and would go wild.
Oh, I
So I
think that's
wonder,
right.
yeah.
Hmm.
But I think maybe it's a little bit of both too. She doesn't think he's a full person, but
Hmm.
also, yeah, he should be responsible like he is a person.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay, so now we're almost to the end here, and everyone's really sad because they know after this incident, it's been like day two. Maybe it's even day one. It's not looking
Yeah, it's
good.
pretty early. I think maybe day two, but yeah, no. They're like, are we gonna get kicked out of here?
Yeah. And then Fee, the little sprite child, she's out there breaking a sweat, making trees and plants, trying to
Oh,
de-stress.
right. This is in the middle of the night. So Arthur wakes up in the middle
Yeah.
of the night. He can't sleep. He goes out and he sees Fee, yeah, making trees in the forest.
Hmm. And then she has wings, she can fly, and she was like, "Why don't we like fly around together? Like that would be like fun." And I was like, "That actually is like true. Like he's never flown around with his little sprite daughter because I
Yeah.
think Arthur only not only, but it seems like he associates when he's with the Phoenix as being like bad.
Yeah, out of control or something.
Yes, out
Or
of
angry.
control. Yeah, pure instinct. But then he's like so happy that she's calling him dad and this and that. And so then
Yeah.
he gets to like be who he is and just like fly around without like feeling bad about it. I thought that was nice.
Yeah. I did think that was really nice. And actually,
Yeah.
there's a line here where it said like they're racing, and then it says, not to be outdone, the Phoenix and Arthur, for they were one and the same, burned the air around him and in a burst of speed shot past Fee. And so I think that's kind of the first time where Arthur and the Phoenix are connected as the same person. Because, yeah, Arthur
Yes.
is always distancing himself. It's like, oh, I felt the Phoenix rising within me. So, yeah, he's
Yes.
kind of like denying that part of himself, I guess.
Yeah, I my comment on that was that I'm sad that Arthur doesn't get to be 100% himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
Hmm.
a hard life, like feeling like you have to present as one way
Yeah.
and not being able to let it all hang loose, even with your family.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, keeping part of yourself hidden. I wonder how
Hmm.
that works with the Phoenix though. Like, could he do, could he like make breakfast in the morning as a Phoenix? I don't really know how that works. You know what I'm saying? Like, could he be a Phoenix more often?
He could probably like, I bet if he was like perfectly comfortable, it would probably be like some kind of blending where it's like
Oh, some
as like
fires around him.
situation, yeah, like, oh, I'm making dinner, light the stoves. Oh, I'm gonna light this candle. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to go from here to there. I'm just gonna fly instead of walk.
Yeah.
It'd be some kind of like whatever makes sense in the moment, fluidity
Yeah.
between the two of them.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. I did think it's sweet when they start calling him dad and he's like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh, I know. These poor little babes
I know.
constantly being inspected. Because Arthur just finished his inspection not even like a year ago.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
And
only
Linus
been
was
like
there for
six
a
or eight
while, right?
months. It just felt like a long time. He was there for a month.
I thought it was at least a month.
He was there for a month.
Okay.
And it's been
Yeah.
6 months since then. So it's been less than a year.
Been only 6 months since then? Really? The kids have grown that much?
I was kind of shocked about that too, but I was like, maybe puberty for these little magical creatures just appears. I remember somewhere in the very beginning, Linus makes a comment or Arthur makes a comment like, it's been 6 months since Linus moved to the island, something like that.
Oh, okay.
There was
Interesting.
something, maybe like right around when they got engaged. I remember being like, I
Oh,
remember it
maybe.
sticking out and being like, that's really not a long time.
Yeah, that really isn't. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Sure.
Okay. So, any other comments, thoughts?
Nope. I got a lot of get a clunes again, but we don't gotta. I was trying to think of a word that would go with clune but meant time.
I know we don't have a lot of
Clock's running out.
the clock's
The
running
clune
out.
clock.
Uh, well, the next one should be shorter, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so how do you feel going into this last part of the book? What do you think's going to happen? Do you know what's
I
going to
think
happen already?
I think no, I don't. I think Marble Maw is actually a closeted magical creature,
Mm.
and she's gonna turn the tide and
Oh.
help take over her evil boss lady.
Oh, okay.
Maybe she'll become the new J.K. Rowling.
Ah. But like her initials are reversed or something, so she's the opposite.
R.J. Rowling. Wait.
RK Jowling?
She'll just be Miss Marble Maw. MMM.
Yeah. All right. All right. Um, yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. So Miss Marble Maw is gonna be on their side.
I think so. And I think
They
she's a
always
phoenix
are.
or some kind of magical bird, if not a phoenix.
Mm. Hmm. Do you think she actually came to the island with the intention of shutting them down, or is she secretly like, I actually want to join?
At first, I was like, maybe she's Arthur's mom.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or like one of his long, because he said on the report, they're like, you're the last phoenix. Did you know that? And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sad. And then I'm like, maybe she's going to come out and she's going to be like, I'm a phoenix too. I'm your sister,
Oh,
or I'm your mom, or I'm your blah, blah, blah.
could be.
But
We'll
also, I'm
see.
like, Arthur, you need to go to like a sperm bank stat.
Gonna go extinct.
Yeah. But maybe he's okay with that. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
But
he's
maybe
got
if
seven
there's,
kids.
yeah, but maybe if there's not a female phoenix, there's nothing you can do
It
about
wouldn't
it.
work. That kind of would make sense.
It is really sad because a lot of these creatures, they're the last ones.
I know.
I'm like, okay.
I guess that's it.
Right. They're making a lot of these like they're They're trying to make a lot of these political moves when you're like, well, after a certain amount of time, the problem sounds like it.
Oh no.
I don't want to be that way, but it's also like if you're all just the last one, like, but maybe the point is that they're not actually the last one, and there's like some haven somewhere
Oh, it's
outside of
hidden.
this horrible government where like the people live wild and free. So,
Oh, interesting. They'll all
yeah.
find a new world.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Could be.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we went long again. Whoops, my bad.
Yep, that's
Okay.
okay. Had a lot to say.
Yes. All right. Well, I'll see you next time.
Yeah, sounds good. I love
Love
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.